No, actually, I think the problem with the last show was I wasn't drunk enough. But yeah. No, my other idea was to basically just go full Zizek and totally own it, and just go and talk in circles and sniff and fucking basically be a human bulldog.
Whoa, stop doing cocaine in the middle of the
I know,
show.
I must do cocaine. Cocaine is the most dialectical of all narcotics.
By the way, I can seriously confirm that kratom is to podcasting ideas what cocaine is to shitty business ventures.
Oh, that sucks. You're very right, and that sucks.
Dolphin attack.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Psychic Dolphin Garage. I'm one of your hosts, Kelton. I'm joined today by my other co-host, Zach.
Hello, everybody. I am here today, and I am ready to record this podcast. We also have back again our friend Bo.
Howdy, howdy, folks.
That's
I'm
right,
here,
back by popular demand.
Back by me showing up to both of y'all's houses within the course of like a week, which is fucked up.
Well, we got a slightly different format coming to you today. Something we're experimenting with, mainly because we just want to see if it's possible. We've considered the idea of opening up a Twitch channel and doing our initial recording on there, while actually talented gamers such as Zach and a guest, or untalented people like myself and whatever other guest.
Come on now.
Yeah, no, I'm seriously bad at this. We just try out and see if maybe doing a live stream and then editing a podcast together from that might be appealing. So we're coming at you raw, uncut, full of, pustule sores, I guess, is what we're saying. No makeup, no filter, #blessed.
Ass out.
What would you say is the top news story that you've seen overall, taking over your social media feeds? Diving right into it, first and foremost.
Ugh, yikes. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, because it's a whole big world out there. But one thing that really ruined my weekend was all that Greenland ice melting. So that was fun. That was a really great... I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do a full liquor store raid this weekend, and lo and behold, the news convinced me otherwise.
Iceland's just there being like, haha, we told you.
We told you. We are the Iceland.
Iceland represent. It's like two competing fraternities and an 80s comedy. That's the rich kid college across
Iceland
the
House
lake.
Rules.
What about you, Zach?
My feed has been nothing but E3.
E3, it's okay. The biggest news I saw was the year of Keanu. I feel like this is 2015 with Matthew McConaughey all over again. Only, without Jared Leto dressing up as a trans person and being wildly problematic.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Dallas Buyers Club. It's an interesting movie if we all rewatch it with woke glasses on. But then the Avengers trailer really bothered me, because it was all the Kroger brand knockoff versions of the Avengers.
The Avengers game that's coming out.
Yeah, they were just like, oh, well, we're not going to pay Chris Evans for his likeness. So...
Featuring Chad Irwin.
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't you all excited for him?
It was just all off. I
don't play video games. Fuck you.
It was the double Uncanny Valley effect was what it was.
Yeah.
It looks real bad. The other thing, though, that I saw that I guess quasi bothered me, but not really all that much, was the fact that the Vatican confirmed that there are only two genders, and people were getting upset at the Catholic Church for acting like the goddamn Catholic Church.
Liberals owned.
Yeah, exactly. Like, man, okay, you got us here, the Catholics. Because I guess people with our desire to do hero worship, man, Stormy Daniels is going to save the day somehow. That now we're also like, man, this Pope is super woke. Look at him. And we kind of forget the fact that he's still a Pope,
Just gonna mildly hint at my desire to do an entire episode about Buddhism and talk about how individualism has been destroyed so thoroughly that our cultural desire for hero worship has cut off any ability that we have to act on an individual basis and create change.
Well, I mean, with the way that the
us.
East is destroying the petrodollar, I guess you could say we're evolving into Euro worship.
Nice.
Kill me. See, these are the jokes that get edited out in post.
That was very NPR. I'm sorry, not to call you out or anything. But
You
yeah.
take that back, you son of a bitch.
That's about the meanest thing I've ever said to another person. I'm sorry.
Adam ruins everything. More like Kelton ruins everything. Gee.
No, actually, Kelton, it's not technically NPR enough because that wasn't like racist yellow peril enough to be NPR.
Oh, God. China has so thoroughly destroyed the environment that we might as well just give up trying to make any first world impact on carbon emissions.
It really is just a bizarre doomer philosophy. It's like, well, I mean, they're not going to fix it, so why should we even bother? Lead by example. What are we? The self-proclaimed leaders of the free world?
Yeah, that's exactly what the Vatican is. The Vatican is the policy writers for every single country in the world and speaks for millions, if not billions, of people the world around.
Yeah. It's the world's oldest pyramid scheme.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they have their woke pope to say enough things like that aren't quite we hate the gays so that they can stand behind him and be like, see, like we still support traditional concepts of gender and people that still believe that, even though the Pope accepts everyone else.
If the Pope goes forward and endorses Andrew Yang as candidate for the U.S. presidency, how long until the American Catholic League just decides to step up and be like, he actually meant Biden? That's what he meant. The two often get so confused because, they're so alike with their policy and their age and general appearance,
Also, like, who the fuck's Catholic anymore? Like, grow up.
Yeah, that's right. It's all about Scientology.
Exactly. Like, Catholicism's an old meme at this point. You might as well be posting fucking rage comics.
Just a bunch of gay Scientologists forming a Facebook group called Hubhards.
Oh, I hate that. Oh, that sucks.
Oh,
that would be dope. I would join that group so fast. I guess ultimately it boils down to this. If Biden cures cancer before he gets elected president, would you vote for him?
No.
No? Zach, what about you?
You have to then. He already saved the entire world from cancer. Like, if anything, we've proven that the U.S. president isn't that important. So we might as well just, give it to him.
I mean, I just would love it if Trump doubles down. It's like, I'm going to cure death itself. No one dies after I'm reelected president. We figured it out, guys.
Terminally ill kids. So that was a fucking lie.
I mean, personally, as a millennial who really doesn't expect to live past 2050, I wear my future cancer like a badge of pride. So I'm honestly microwaving my nuts probably 3 or 4 hours a day just to spite the boomers.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you put them so close to your phone to unlock it. Have you not
Get
heard
off your damn phone once in a while.
Yeah, these fucking millennials and their skinny jeans, Yeah.
Back in my day, Payless Shoe Stores had an X-ray machine to see how well your feet fit into your shoes. We didn't suffer any negative effects from that.
Just all my friends beaming memes straight through my nutsack onto my phone and then back through my nutsack onto the Wi-Fi. That's gonna do me in.
I hate to be this guy, but if someone else who, for example, was a Republican had made this sort of campaign promise, MSNBC would flip out because this is just blatant crazy old man talk.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the guy that's at the family reunion. We're not really sure who he is, but he starts talking to everyone about something that's tangentially related to something in the news, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you should try my miracle cure for this thing." And we're all like, "Okay, who
It's
is
just a
that?"
bottle of piss.
It's
It's like 10% shitty whiskey and 90% piss.
You guys remember that guy that was selling like energy drinks to high school kids like 10 years ago, and it was just meth and Gatorade?
I'm really glad I don't remember
Hell
that,
yes.
actually.
You mean my hero? Who I just heard of?
There goes my hero.
Hell yes,
Watch him as he
absolutely.
goes.
Can you imagine in like the year 2021 at some family reunion, someone's like, "Yeah, did you hear about Sandra? I mean, unfortunately, she got colon cancer." People are like, "Oh man, that's so bad." And there's some shit lib there that's like, "Well, that's what she gets for voting for Trump. She wouldn't have gotten that if she voted for Biden."
Meanwhile, they're paying like $3 million in insurance premiums. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you fucking Bernie bros ruined this. That's
but hey, at least there's a new Harry Potter book out, so fucking whatever.
absolutely. And everyone is, I don't know, unique in some super special way.
Well,
Do you
and if they
care about the
aren't,
Harry Potter
then you can
books anymore?
retro in. If they're not, you can retro in how unique they are.
Honestly, other than the total lack of representation in the books, I think the Dumbledore's gay thing is, that's a neat idea. The lack of representation thing, of course, sucks. But then to, like, hammer down on it after the fact, it's like, just, you're a zillionaire. Just take a fucking vacation. Take a nap. Do literally anything else, please. I'm begging you.
Okay, what would you prefer, though? Would you prefer another Harry Potter book or another season of Game of Thrones?
I'm about to vomit. It's what I'm about to prefer.
Okay, but plot twist. Are you ready? The Harry Potter book is going to be written by Benioff and Weiss, and the next season of Game of Thrones will be written by J.K. Rowling.
Oh, Jesus.
So, Bo, which would you prefer?
Just to clarify, death is not an option here?
If you don't make a choice, you'll live
definitely.
forever. You'll never die if you don't make a choice.
Oh, no. Oh,
yeah,
God.
because Trump won. Remember?
right. Well, I'm just gonna abstain respectfully for the
19
meantime.
false flag attacks on oil rigs have taken place in the time it's taken you to answer, Bo.
I've had 19 memes about it, so eat my ass.
I'm glad that we can joke so openly about clearly false flag attacks that it feels like, was this what they just felt like the Bay of Pigs? Like, were people sitting in bars, like, joking about another, like, American attempt to stir up war?
It's even worse, Zach. I was listening to something concerning the Bay of Pigs, and apparently the generals knew ahead of time that their initial request for just ground with no air support wasn't going to be enough, but they realized that if they pushed for both, that Kennedy would not approve it. So then they pushed for both. He didn't approve it. They pushed for just ground, and then he approved it. So they're like, awesome. And then in the heat of the moment, we will get the air support because we'll tell Kennedy, oh, hey, we need air support now. And he'll have to do it. Only when they asked Kennedy, he was like, no, it's a lost cause. We have to bail.
God
They're
damn.
like, wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah, I really have no, like, context considering I wasn't born, or I wasn't alive back when the fucking, Gulf and Tonkin thing went down. But I'd like to assume that there were some fucking boomers back then who were like, yeah, what if, like, there was a Shiba Inu that was, like, a picture of it was captioned with text that was like, oh, we're Vietnam, we're gonna shoot a ship. Like, what, dude? I think that's exactly how it would have gone down.
Boomer memes printed on some shitty zines.
Yeah, exactly. These fucking hippie boomers, right before getting shot at Kent State. Oh, that was
Hell
bleak.
yes.
Are fucking, like, printing out Impact font before Impact font was invented and, like, putting up posters around campus.
God, is that Gutenberg font? Fucking hippie.
I really think that at this point, we have such a fucking, like, broad and desperate precariat that's just ready to fucking sign up to go like get shot at for a Dodge Charger, and also the ability to pay rent. That we don't even need reasons for wars anymore.
No, I just say that we drop it. I mean, this is truly the last gasp attempt before we just decide to own the fact that we're an imperial nation.
Yeah, go full fucking Death Star at this point. Like, you're not fooling anybody.
Why we're doing this? Why?
Like, the U.S. is essentially the guy who, like, mugs somebody, but, like, shakes their hand as they're doing it. It's like, thank you so much for your wallet. Now, I'm gonna stab you just for good measure.
Mugs a guy while saying thank you for your service.
Cuts his fucking legs off.
Don't mean to at the VA, but,
At the VA, though. Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
The princess crying, why are you doing this? And we're like, literally, we were bored. What do you want us to do?
It just blows my mind, though, that I saw more about, and maybe this is just my social media feed, I saw more about Warner Brothers canceling, or it's rumored that they're going to cancel the DC universe than the fact that we are about to go to war with Iran.
I'm so glad I didn't see a shred of that shit.
It is. It's the most toxic thing you
I could imagine, yeah. It's kind of akin to how Animal Crossing, how Nintendo lost like a fucking $1 billion worth of their stock because Animal Crossing is coming out late.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that, like, nerd shit babies are now, I mean, you know, fucking, the whole capital system is nerd shit babies, but the fact that nerd shit babies are dictating the way our economy works at this point, why video game come out late? That's what I'm asking. And that's worth $1 billion of fun money that, you know, works like that.
It's because, again, they think that video game designing is, they think of it in their head as the exact same type of situation as exists in Grandma's Boy. And, you know, they never really quite moved on beyond there. They don't think of it as hundreds of people tinkering away meticulously for thousands and thousands of hours.
Well, you guys meandered on for so long that I totally forgot the transition I was going to use.
Oh, yeah?
Transition away.
Really
it's still Pride Month. If you fucking feel that way, do it.
I really actually am hoping that the rest of the world manages to get the fake UFO thing off the ground before we start another war, because if the rest of the world manages to convince the US that aliens are posturing to take over the world, then maybe we'll just focus on Space Force and invading other planets instead of other countries.
100%.
Imperialism in space!
As long as you get a cool helmet, I mean, I will sign up tomorrow, honestly.
Yeah?
Yep.
So what would it look like? Would it be the Doom helmet, or would it be the Master Chief helmet?
It's kind of both, except it also has like an ad for KFC on the front, or like Walmart, or some other fucking. It's just some garbage advertisement on the front.
It's a NASCAR helmet.
Yeah, it's essentially a NASCAR. It's a NASCAR helmet, but also an ODST helmet.
Oh my
That's
god!
What I'm wearing as I get shot in the nuts.
You guys know how NASA's privatizing, right? What if they do start putting ads on all the spacesuits?
This failed rocket launch brought to you by Ask Jeeves.
Blue Apron.
This news report brought to you by Google. Shouldn't have used Ask Jeeves, fucking idiots.
I'm gonna
Blue
have,
Apron is more dependable than your.
I'm gonna have NASA Uber Eats me a fucking hamburger to the moon.
Some guy is just like, I'm an astronaut. Why am I working at Uber Eats? We need the funding. Shut the fuck up.
There's a guy right now in fucking Tulsa, Oklahoma, who desperately needs some Wendy's. And can't be asked to drive half a block.
We have so much money and so much technology, and we still can't do universal health care.
Yep.
It blows people's minds. They're like, hold on, explain to me again? No. I understand, like, how cell phones work and all of the complex intricacies inside to allow, you know, this form of communication. But the idea of government-run healthcare that helps
That's apparently
me.
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's anything that nicks my necks, it's having to listen to people that are really close to universal healthcare, where it's like, if only, it's like listening to my parents talk. It's like, if only there was somebody that would stop this horrible price war where the hospitals charge you too much because the suppliers charge them too much because insurance companies will just fuck you over for pennies.
If only the buck could stop somewhere. But where? It's like Jon Stewart. And I get what he's doing. It's a noble, blah, 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 blah. The ultimate point, though, is he's like, these first responders deserve health care. It's like, yes, they absolutely do. You know what would fix that, John? You know what would permanently solve the idea of they weren't able to get the care they need because it was too expensive? Huh, John?
Some sort of coverage that works, that just works. Coverage that is universal almost, because they have a wide variety of ailments that need treatment.
Simply ask, do first responders deserve universal health care? I can't take it. Like, I don't get why things aren't asked that way.
That's always been my my big fucking issue with, like, so I read The Conquest of Bread last summer, and it's a neat book. It's a fun read. It's a good poolside summertime read. However, I think that despite being a Russian prince from literally the ass end of, like, the word, or one of, basically medieval times compared to where we are now, the 1800s basically being fucking just dog shit of a century, like, you are really fucking optimistic, buddy. Like, I don't think Peter Kropotkin had ever spoken to a single American, or maybe Americans were just less shit back then. Of course they weren't. They were still Americans. But Jesus Christ, dude, you think that just because we have all this shit, people are just gonna give it up and help people? Are you fucking stupid? No, of course not. Come on, dude.
If he existed today, do you think that, like, he would get involved in gang wars and be called, like, Peter Kropotkin?
Nice. No, I think if Peter Kropotkin existed today, he'd be a reply guy on Twitter, but, like, one of the lower tiers of reply guys.
He'd be selling beard oil.
Yeah, no, and he's, like, advertising it on, like, fucking, like, Belle Delphine's, like, Patreon ads.
Peter Krasenstein.
Just imagine both of them growing giant-ass 1800s beards.
Oh, no. This is terrible. This is terrible all around.
Their comeback is, we're now on Mastodon.
Yeah. By the way, we all need to get on Mastodon. That it really seems like that's the best way. You can build a Mastodon bot now that takes the best from a certain subreddit, and it just uploads it. So if you created a Mastodon instance, you could just take all the subreddits that everyone steals all the memes from, and then post that on one instance, and then that's the federated timeline, and then people could watch it. My point is that this is all very feasible.
I steal all my memes from Wine Mom pages on Facebook, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That's true. I'm sorry.
Unity, why can't we seem to keep it together?
Because you're a bitch, Sharon, and you know what happened.
That's an atrocity. I can't believe.
Watch Big Little Lies Season 2 and tell me that those people deserve universal health care. That's my counterpoint to previous me. We live in
Happier
hell.
me that believed in the goodness of men, me that read Bread Book and said, everyone should read Bread Book.
I do wonder, okay, so there were 3 big stories that made me think that we live in. Those 3 were, and we're going to tackle all this, so I need everyone to make sure that you're aware. First one, influencers are visiting Chernobyl to get social media clout.
And cancer.
Okay. Yeah, we all saw that, right?
Yeah.
The second one is that OJ has officially joined Twitter on the 25th anniversary of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman being murdered.
So that's the
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
And the third one of the strangers Things Kid, the one with no fucking teeth.
Oh, come on now.
A reality show where
Nice.
he finds
He's a
people
piece of
who've
shit.
been-
Would be nice.
Why he's been unemployed. He finds people who've been unemployed for so long that they're desperate, and then he offers them employment, but the prank is that there is no job.
Oh, Jesus.
So if he's not giving
Oh.
them free money, then he's not a comrade.
Listen, I will never encourage violence against a child.
But he's got like a few good years until you can kick his ass.
Yeah, exactly. You know how there are those like creeper dudes who are like, hey, let's see how until Britney Spears turns 18. I think
You mean
it's
Drake?
good leftist.
You mean Drake?
Yeah.
Speaking of fucking...
Until Millie Bobby Brown turns 18. He's just crossing off like how many more Raptors championships are going to happen until I finally get my child bride. Because Christ. But anyway, sorry, got a little heated there.
Well, technically it's legally okay as long as you don't fucking get found out. Not to quote pedophiles again. I really hate to quote pedophiles, but...
This podcast is in no way ANCAP.
What if the child consents to getting his ass beat?
No.
I'm going to hell.
You don't understand. It's hepabrolia, okay? I have a desire to beat people who look like children.
That sucks. Oh, God. Boys were canceled. Rein it in.
I mean, millionaires are dying on Everest, and that kind of makes sense because they're climbing too fast.
Because they're idiots.
Yeah. And, influencers are dying or might die from radiation from Chernobyl. And this really is one of those, like, life finds a way moments. So maybe this actually is an example of us living in hell. Maybe this is, bright and optimistic, rather.
Yeah, they have the means to get out. That's why we're in hell.
Exactly. Okay, so, now listen, this is going to sound like a strange pitch, okay? But the Stranger Things kid needs to be dealt with. We now know of at least one man who's back in the public eye who might be okay.
So, to bring all these stories together, what you're saying is, it's a battle royale style situation, and I don't mean just like Fortnite. I mean battle royale, specifically the Japanese movie.
Yeah.
We fucking send...
And
no, actually,
Stranger Things
Stalker
kid fly to Chernobyl.
Yeah, it's a one-on-one death match. Stranger Things kid, fucking OJ, one-on-one in the ruins of Chernobyl. I would honestly pay $2,000 a month for that shit. I don't know where I'd find the money.
Canceled by society.
There you
Outrage culture cannot go after them.
Jesus.
Who do you have in the ruins of Chernobyl?
Is 25 years the statute of limitations on murder?
No, I don't think so, Zach.
Damn. Okay. So is this...
This is not a legal advice podcast.
Is this kind of like the double jeopardy thing where OJ you can't get taken to court twice for the same crime?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, once you get cleared for murder of one person, you can murder as many people as you like. That's how it works.
Oh, well then, yeah, obviously OJ, because he's not scared anymore.
Well, when that show finally happens, like I said, I've got front row seats.
Did you know that you receive more radiation flying to Russia than you do visiting the Chernobyl site? Remember, kids, this is still a pro-nuclear podcast, even though...
100%.
Even though we are hosting death matches.
And a pro-Soviet. and a pro-Soviet podcast, I should clarify.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Stalin did nothing wrong.
All of
Not that I'm denying what he did. I'm saying he didn't do enough of that. Okay.
He didn't kill enough He should have killed 2 more of those Stranger Things kids.
Remember, kids, this NASA launch is brought to you by nuclear power.
With Grand Commissar OJ at his side.
Oh. Hey, look, I may not like the energy czar positions that are now part of the U.S. I guess not legislature technically because they're unelected positions, so that are part of the U.S. political machine. But
Mhm.
if I had to pick someone to be a czar, it would be OJ.
100%.
Yes, absolutely. He's the right man for the job. I mean,
And
it really is going to be bad. Like, what if he is a legitimately good motivational speaker? And you're like, man, it really just sucks that he killed those people. But he gets me pumped up in the morning, you know? Gets me in the right headspace to go out and seize the day.
OJ is like that Twitter account where it's the 80-year-old dude that just smokes weed and posts videos of himself making
Hell
dance.
yes.
And he just every day he just has like a super like DJ Khaled level inspirational video.
That's great. I love that.
He just becomes he does what Oprah did, but he does it on Twitter.
I don't know why we're so worried about government overreach, like even with czars and stuff, when companies like United Technologies and Raytheon can merge together and have basically a monopoly on the private sector. Because then, is it really a private sector or is it just the corporate sector because it's a singular entity at this point?
Is it even corporate when they're just using the dollars that the government gives them the same way that any government entity would function? They just have a set budget and then they just give them the money.
We never left feudalism. We just got iPhones. And welcome to my new episode of Black Mirror.
Thanks for coming to our TED Talk. This is new podcast idea. Oh, also idea for our new segment. We just call it 14 million credits.
There you go.
Really pushing that. How about this? Just call your new side stuff. Call it 14 million flowers.
Oh yeah.
How about that? Or, roses. You could really detach a little bit. Although people might think that's advertising something else with that title. On the plus side, I got good news and bad news, guys. On the plus side, I got $14 million. On the downside, I think we are legally owned now by a sheik somewhere. So,
don't know which one. Don't know where he is, but
don't worry, he'll find us. I'm giving you advance notice.
Yeah. I love that we'll now be able to buy all of our outdated equipment for the military from a single contractor instead of having to figure out which one of them is telling us, quoting us for 2 cents cheaper.
Oh, is this that thing about the military buying a bunch of anti-night vision gear? Because that shit is very relatable. As a dumbass, as like a card-carrying dumbass, a proud dipshit even, like, I relate to that hardcore, and I might join the military just so I can get paid by an imperialist war machine to be a dumbass full time. I think I might just sign up.
What if I told you didn't have to join the military to get paid by an imperialist war machine?
What?
The Koch brothers are considering spending tons of money to defend Democratic incumbents from progressive primary challengers. So,
hey, listen, I'm a mediocre-looking white guy. I have a shitty suit and a pirated version of Photoshop. I could be on TPUSA tomorrow if I wanted to.
No. Don't do TPUSA. Think about it. You're also polling currently at 0% for the presidency. You are their target demographic.
Perfect.
Like, listen, I may not be legally qualified for the presidency, but that's just age. And isn't age just a number?
2 terms
to
and then
the other side?
2 more years, and I'm basically there.
Yeah, you can try me on for size before you really buy into it.
Exactly.
This is like Amazon wardrobe. You can keep me for 7 years, and then you can decide if you want to pay for me.
It's an internship presidency. That's what I'm doing.
Aww.
Aw, that sounds so bad.
That sounds like something I'd put on my resume to fake my way into a job. That's what it sounds like.
I just can't think of a more prescient example of things not being left or right, progressive or conservative. Rather, it's just entirely up versus down. Because, I mean, like, incumbent Democrats and corporate Democrats aren't, quote, on my side, so to speak. any more than Republicans are or Tea Party people are or anything like that. I mean, they don't. This whole idea of like true left unity. I mean, this might also quickly just become a tangent into purity politics, but we need to figure out what's actually on the left and what's not.
No, there is no fucking left in U.S. electoral politics. Yeah, there never has been. You know,
I mean,
because U.S. electoral politics don't actually want to address anything that's real. They make their own issues. They make their own. It's like listening to a high schooler on a debate team that just figured out how to like talk about voting issues. Like they're not talking about anything that's actually a part of what they're debating. They're just saying, "Oh, by the way, here are my voting issues. You have to vote on this." And then the mom that's listening to it is like, "Oh, voting issues. That's right," and then writes it down and is like, "Okay, cool. I have to choose between these two." So. Yeah, and much the same that the Dems, are much the same the way that it's up versus down, and there's no real choice in U.S. electoral politics. There was never any choice with our weapons contractors, defense contractors, and weapons manufacturers because they sell shit to us, they sell shit to Saudi Arabia, they sell shit to revolutionaries and everywhere.
But they put a rainbow filter over their profile picture, so we know they're an ally, Zach.
There you go.
Yes, they're an ally to everyone who wants to be themselves, and love is love also.
Yeah, love is love. That's right. And we can all agree that we love Taylor Swift, right, guys?
Yeah, whoa, yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
Crazy.
Gonna crack open a couple cold ones and jam out to some T-Swift.
That's always been my favorite thing about like alcohol advertisement vis-a-vis Pride. Like, of course, it's a party, so people are advertising alcohol. Nobody's buying fucking Bud Light. Like, we're buying Steel Reserve so we can get hammered and forget that Bud Light is advertising to us. Like, and God knows they might be owned by the same fucking company for all I know. But still, it's Bud Light is Bud Light should actually be advertising for the fucking straight pride parade. Really.
Oh no!
Yeah, not to rehash an old topic, but yeah.
When I'm feeling a little fruity, I like to buy myself a case of strawberry lemonade by Natty Light.
Yes, put that in my veins. Actually,
this podcast brought to you by Natty Light.
Actually, that's Keystone Light. I'm sorry.
Whatever. Fucking tomato.
Yeah.
Do you remember Keystone? The ad guy for it, like Keystone Light, almost as smooth as Keith Stone.
Like, the whole thing of fucking American icons being advertised to dipshits as, like, satire, but they're all for it. I fucking love that. It's so cool. Like, that whole... What's the fucking meme page? Clive something. Where he tags everything hashtag America. Or Larry the Cable Guy for that
yeah.
instant. I'm gonna try and Google this. But, yeah, that kind of shit...
Cloyd Rivers?
Cloyd Rivers, yeah!
Oh god, that account got so bad.
That awkward moment when you realize that irony Twitter account you've been following wasn't actually being ironic at all. And it's actually just becoming radicalized.
The only two people who follow this are dudes I haven't spoken to since high school. And haven't posted anything in about 6 years.
This Keystone ad is real bad.
Did you expect it to be good?
No, but I didn't expect it to be like that. Like, they posted cringe, bro.
That's the fucked up thing about late capitalism. They post cringe, and they gain subscriber.
Yeah, yeah. Only in system where money not real can you post cringe and gain subscriber.
Exactly. No, I forget if I brought it up on the last episode, but I'm really waiting for the day when Monster leans into the Kyle meme. It's coming any fucking minute now. I guarantee you.
I'm pretty sure they already did it with the Churdleys. They already went to like a Monsters headquarters and recorded there. So that's kind of like they've allowed it, but they haven't built it into their own advertising yet. It's amazing though that advertising isn't good enough to keep up with content creators, and that they haven't just merged into a singular entity, because like, where does content actually come from at that point? once.
Oh, I mean, they
content
effectively
creators-
have, but it's just you've got to have that, not the implication, but you've got to have the fetishistic disavowal. I know that they're the same thing, but I don't want to know, so I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
not to like I was all over the fucking last episode, but yeah,
Yeah, you know? Yeah.
yeah,
bro.
Well,
Yeah,
but
bro. Yeah.
basically the thing is
Anyway, circling back
fucking-
to, you know.
exactly. Content creators and brands are essentially the same fucking thing at this point, and they're cooperating in a way that maybe they don't even know what's going on. Maybe they do. It doesn't fucking matter, really.
Back in my day, people posted vines for little to no profit, and they did it every day of the week. You don't see that shit anymore. Now it's all about monetized channels on YouTube and OMG, I just got kicked off of Twitter for saying the N-word.
Well, so again, that makes me wonder what the line is. Like, y'all remember when I think this was summer of 2017 when Twitter was super horny about the Wendy's mascot?
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Despite the Wendy's mascot,
Was that
I
2
think
years
canonically. Yeah, that was 2 years ago, I think.
Being a child.
Maybe 3 years ago. Yeah, despite the Wendy's mascot being based on, I think, a fucking 7, 8, 9-year-old.
A little
And
too old, but you
yeah.
know.
Again, this is not a podcast in the bottom right political quadrant. Fucking
For a burger. What were you people thinking?
But that's the thing. Like, at what point does the brand capitalize? Like, at what point does the brand say, okay, cool, this is where we're going to go in on the meme? And I don't remember which way the official Wendy's account went, but I mean, they didn't say no to the free advertising. So
Yeah, I mean,
about,
well, I mean, back in the day, there was a ruling by the Supreme Court that said that corporations are people. Now, I believe in today's society in 2019, we've all come to the conclusion that people are corporations. Thank
There
you.
you go.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I appreciate it.
yeah, I would like to have the income and tax code of corporations applied to me. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. Come on right over here. How much profit did you make in the United States? None, but $14 billion in Ireland for some reason?
crazy how that works. Also, for the record, the Wendy's Corporation was founded in 1969. So technically, she's actually a 1,000-year-old dragon in the body of a child.
God
So
damn it.
Listen, it didn't make George Clooney wanting to fuck that child robot any more okay in Tomorrowland.
God,
You cannot justify.
that's gross. Ugh. God. Yeah, no, I'm thinking your thesis of us living in hell is really, yep, yeah, you're right on the fucking spot there.
Well, if it helps out any, what if I told you that there's a bright endorsement for maybe a light at the end of the tunnel? And that's actually coming from Taylor Swift, who in her new song was talking about how, guess what, everybody? It's
What?
okay to be gay.
Thank God, finally somebody said it.
Yes,
Finally.
absolutely. How much of a sellout are you when you are this fucking late to the party? Or what if she actually thinks that she is taking a stand for some reason? What
She
if
might.
in her circles it's still viewed as controversial?
What if she's actually just coming in at the right time where everything is like shit show enough to nobody really pays attention to what she's doing? Because when Kylie Jenner did the Pepsi commercial,
Kindle.
One of those.
Kendall Jenner did the Pepsi commercial, we were like all over that shit. We were like, what the fuck is this?
Well, yeah, Zach, because it cured human versus police relations.
Yes.
Of course, we were all over it. Not a single person has been shot by the police after the Pepsi. Okay, I'm being notified that that's actually wrong.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm just hearing this too. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Like it's so
Oh no!
it's so non-controversial to support gay rights now that Taylor Swift is finally like, yes,
I am safe.
I can
A
safely
clear
do this.
third of my fan base, I can now admit, deserve love I'm such an icon.
The statistics department has informed me that we can gain at least 5% viewership on Spotify if I post it.
Why,
Yeah.
Taylor? Good on you, but man, this was the hottest song of 2009, I think. Right?
When was Carly Rae Jepsen's first single? That's when
The
gay rights
2012. 2012.
Carly Rae Jepsen threw
Summer
the
Olympics.
Stonewall, actually. So
We're gonna be watching the
yeah.
Taylor Swift biopsy in 30 years, and we're like old men.
We're gonna be
like,
watching her
dads.
biopsy?
Is that no? That
wait.
hang on.
Jesus Christ, that's a hell of a prediction, Zach.
Look, I'm not saying that Twitch is going to improve over the years, but if that's what it gives us, then I'm down.
There you go.
We're gonna be watching her biography. The biography
There you
of
go.
Taylor Swift. I don't know what's happening. In 50 years, it's gonna be like, yeah, this song that I performed in 2019, I actually wrote in 2006. We'd be
Oh
like,
my God,
no
you're so
way!"
right. She is going to be doing that.
So she does think that she's being controversial and taking a stand. That's right.
Great.
That's where I land.
Amazing.
So Windows was founded in 1969. That means that their 420-year anniversary will be in 2389.
Cool. Good. Cool. We won't live to see the day because of the incoming eco collapse, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you know,
How many of their workers in the tomato fields will be sexually assaulted by 2389?
if you think tomatoes are still going to exist in 2389, you're goddamn wrong. The GMOs, man.
We're just going to have one ultra crop that is basically a Big Mac that grows off the vine.
The Uber
Well, you
crop.
know,
What do you think
one-
the Beyond Burger is?
We're getting tobacco.
oh, Jesus.
It's like a Big Mac and a tomato. Fuck.
There you go. Fuck, The Simpsons already did it. Who would have guessed?
OJ Simpson
there's
already
one-
fucked too.
The Simpsons already did an episode about OJ killing one of the Stranger Things kids.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
That's the one that's going to come out that we're going to be like, hey, you can't monetize our idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Listen.
when we sue.
Hey.
We got it all recorded on Twitch, alright?
Listen, Matt Groening.
If that is your real name.
Matt Moaning. Haha,
Oh.
got him.
Treehouse of Horror, nice.
We were listening to your biopsy the other day. If there's one fast food company that I think isn't going to sell out, it's going to be Whataburger.
Whataburger already sold out.
What?
They sold out? Yeah, that's the news.
What? Hold
That's
on.
the news.
What?
Oh,
Hold on. I'm
we're
being
following
told
the
that
discourse?
I'm being told that Whataburger is, I quote, bitch made. Gotcha. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it said Whataburger's
Crazy how that works
stepdad.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whataburger has been purchased by a Chicago investment company.
Oh, well, you know what they say about Chicago. It's basically Texas.
It takes a Chicago to know a Chicago. You can lead a
in-
Chicago to Whataburger, but you
We
can't
are-
make a Chicago.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Somebody pick up this
Investment firm
bit. I
in
don't have anything
Chicago?
fucking to go on this. Come on.
An investment firm in Chicago, Kanye West being from Chicago, Whataburger. We're not that far away from Kanye West having a designer clothing line of that shitty orange.
Kanye
of
West is especially
Whataburger.
Texan. Yeah.
I just want Whataburger to take
That's
over
his-
the Supreme style branding where it's just like shitty shirt, Whataburger.
Hold on. We could totally do this.
Well,
oh my God.
thanks to Squarespace for an easy website builder that you can fucking yada yada yada.
Yeah. Yeah.
Monetize e-commerce, drop shipping. I don't know.
Listen. Okay, guys, we got to figure out what's going to go on with this. We got to get bumper stickers made. We got to try and make sure that we get bicycle helmets.
For the Austin crowd, yep. Where the fuck else in Texas is anybody riding a bike? Come on.
Well, that's the thing that we got to do here, fellas. So I'm going to go ahead and try and run that project off. And I guess we will go ahead and tune in next week with a more fully produced podcast. But give us some notes. Let us know how we did. Zach, where can people find you?
I am on Facebook most of the time, but my Twitter handle is Shinobi1Kenobi, and I've started using that again recently. Kelton, where can they find you?
They can find me at That Kelton Guy on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, everywhere, unfortunately. So just be nice, and support body positivity on my selfies, please.
God, same. Yeah. Well, quick self plug. Let me just flex. Let me just other.
Did you
flex.
think I was going to throw it to you, Bo?
Oh, of course. You don't need to throw it. I will take it. I'm at Schnedwob. That's SCHNEDWOB on Twitter. And other. I mean, like I said, that's my tag for mostly anything. So if you're wiring 300 gold to a cute cat girl on World of Warcraft with the handle Schnedwob, that's probably me on the other end. So thank you for your service. You're braver than any U.S. Marine.
Hell yes.
That money
guys,
directly to trans artists.
No, that money's going to Whataburger and
fun.
trans artists. I'm hungry. I got to get fed.
Remember that
this hasn't been real fun.
Remember to tune
I got
in.
a lot of friends who do great commissions, but I'm also a fat ass. So you get a body positivity. I got to keep this dad bod. Happy Father's Day, people.
Oh God, that's right. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Man, should have mentioned that. Daddy's Day. Well,
Daddy Stalin. Yeah.
There we go.
Tweet us, email us, leave us voicemails about your bracketing for the 2020 Democratic debate.
Yes, we have a side episode that's going to be coming out later on this week where me and Zach and God knows who else we're going to be going through. Well, we know one person at least, where we are going to have a March Madness style bracket to try and figure out what would be the most interesting 2020 Democratic debate. Who do we see standing over the ruins of Chernobyl, knife in hand, facing down O.J. Simpson, holding the bloody corpse of the Stranger Things kid, reigning supreme over all? Deuces.